As a fan base, we have gone from being patient to super impatient with the quarterback position. Let's talk about it.
Bijan Robinson. Man, y'all better watch out. That was the right pick. Man, with Raheem Morris and all of our weapons, man, it's looking good. I tell you one thing, you better get that quarterback right, or we ain't going nowhere.
You know, the Atlanta Falcons fans have been traditionally patient at the quarterback position. And I don't mean that we've always agreed on what the organization is doing at that position. But we've gone from almost a decade and a half of being patient with, let's say, Matt Ryan to not giving a quarterback any chance at all. Now, granted, let's be clear. As a franchise, our fans, we had Michael Vick. While Michael Vick wasn't a starter his first season as a rookie, the way he played the game made us feel like, man, we have our quarterback. And then the second year he came in, his first year as the starter of the Atlanta Falcons, we went to the playoffs and we won a playoff game. And then, of course, we had the debacle, and then we had quarterbacks in between there, and then we had Matt Ryan. First pass was a touchdown, okay? We went to the playoffs again. We felt good, but we were very patient with Matt Ryan. 14 years of patience. And I'm not saying that we didn't have good years with Matt. We had a lot of good years with Matt. But I'm not so sure that Matt Ryan would be as embraced with the same temperament that our fans have in 2023, in 2022. I mean, think about it. We have been very impatient with our quarterbacks. So we go out after moving on from Matt Ryan and losing out on the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, thankfully, and we grab Marcus Mariota. Now, Marcus hasn't played football as a starting quarterback for years. He's been in Las Vegas backing up the starting quarterback. And so he comes here and we have a top rushing offense. And a lot of that is because of him. He's player of the week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week after a game against the San Francisco 49ers, who we beat with Marcus Mariota. I mean, I haven't seen a quarterback since Marcus Mariota for the Atlanta Falcons throw such a beautiful bomb for a touchdown as we saw when Marcus hit Damiere Byrd for that touchdown pass when we played the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, granted, it was a losing effort, and I'm not saying that Marcus Mariota was absolutely the answer for us. But we only gave him 13 games. 13 games! And we were in playoff contention. So we benched Mariota. I know he was 5-8, but we benched Mariota and brought in our third round draft pick, Desmond Ridder. I think we would have made the playoffs with Marcus Mariota. And I think the reason that Marcus Mariota left the way that he did is because our dishonest former coach probably told him before Marcus came here that he would be the starter for the full season. I mean, we had a nice rushing attack. We had a nice game. We did. I'm not saying it was great. We had our issues, but the guy had to get his footing. He hadn't played as a starter in a number of years. But we weren't patient. I mean, even before he came here, you had people talking about how much of a garbage quarterback he was. And that hand grenade pass, dumb play. Nobody disagrees with that. But again, it was his first year as a starter in a number of years. And that particular play didn't even turn out to be an interception because he was down when he threw the ball. So, water under the bridge, in my opinion. I think that we should have stuck with Marcus Mariota for the full season and then moved to Desmond Ridder. That way we would have still had Marcus to back up Desmond. to coach him up, to help him out. And Desmond could have had a full season, and we could have seen what we had in Desmond. So, okay, that was the Marcus story. We gave him 13 games, Marcus Mariota. Then we let Desmond Ridder start. But do you know how many games we gave Desmond Ridder as a starter? And I mean as the starter for the 2023 season? He got 7.5 games. Man, we're not patient. And I know he looked terrible, but so did Peyton Manning. He was a turnover machine too. Now, I'm not saying that Desmond Ridder is or was or will be Peyton Manning, but you have to observe long enough to see what you have. And I know we brought him back, and he ended up playing 15 games for us as the starter, Desmond Ridder did. But once you shatter that confidence for a starting quarterback, kind of hard to come back from that. And so we've been impatient. Now, I'm glad that we're moving on from Desmond Ridder, but I mean, he could go somewhere else and be a Super Bowl champion. You just never know. You just never know. And I'm not saying we're moving on as far as him not being on the team anymore, because we don't know that yet. But clearly, we are in the hunt for a quarterback. We need a quarterback for this team in the worst way. So anyway, then we have Taylor Heineke. He comes in week 8 after halftime to take over for Desmond Ridder, who hasn't been playing well. You know how many games Taylor Heineke got? 2.5. He finished the Tennessee Titans game. He started the Minnesota Vikings game. And then he started when we played the Arizona Cardinals. He didn't finish that game. He ended up getting injured. Didn't look like an injury to me, but I mean, who am I? And Desmond Ridder came back in and he started for the remainder of the season. This quarterback carousel, the impulsive, temperamental seesaw of quarterbacks, we can't have that. We just can't. And so when we get our next quarterback, sounds like it's going to be Mr. Justin Fields, we can be critical, but let's not be impatient. We have to watch the quarterback and let him grow, let him cook. I mean, goodness. It doesn't make sense. We'll never get to where we need to be if we're not patient enough to let our player, specifically the most important player on the field for us, mature or learn the offense. We have to do that. And so we haven't been patient. We need to be patient. And I don't mean patient like, oh, we'll wait and have losing season after losing season. No, we've already been there. Okay? But I mean some critical analysis of whether or not the quarterback is the right fit. And it's hard to do that with a very small sample size. So, looking forward to our new quarterback. Can't wait. Very happy about Coach Raheem Morris. It's on. I have a good feeling optimistic about the Atlanta Falcons. I think we're about to do it. I really do. And do what? Play well, make the playoffs, win the South, go deep in the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl. Hey man, I'm all in. I'll take all of that. But what I don't want is Justin Fields or Russell Wilson or whoever getting benched 6 games in. Okay, and Russell Wilson might be a different story because he's a seasoned quarterback. But I would still, even with a seasoned quarterback, I would let them play. Look at Jordan Love, Green Bay. Jordan Love had some really, really, really bad games. He did. He had a bad stretch. But there's no doubt who their quarterback is because they were patient. Now, of course, he had a chance to sit for 4 years. Patience. But he didn't look good initially. I mean, I saw the talent, but he didn't look good. But he looked good when he made the playoffs. He looked good when they beat Dallas. He looked good when they almost beat San Francisco. They have their quarterback. And so we need to know if we have our quarterback